Hello and welcome back to the Premier Injuries channel. It's another one of our important injury updates because a lot of people will be very concerned after today's matches. The Leicester one has kind of given us another conundrum because we lost Lukaku midweek. It has been the turned to premium striker in terms of at 10.5 million. He went off at half time. A lot of people are concerned, but Ben, can you put some of those worries at ease?
Well, hopefully, the early news, and we have heard from Brendan Rodgers, was that Jamie Vardy actually felt something in the warm-up. So prior to kick-off today, but he felt comfortable and confident enough that it wasn't going to hamper him too much. And as we've seen, he played that opening 45 minutes. Now, what Brendan Rodgers did say, that Jamie Vardy didn't feel as if he was moving as he should. There was certainly something hampering him. And when you're talking about small margins at the very highest level, in particularly somebody like Jamie Vardy, who relies on those short, sharp, quick bursts of pace, to get him ahead of the defenders. It just thought, with the form that Patson Daka has been in, of course, getting 4 goals in the Europa League midweek, they thought that it wasn't worth taking any chances, and he was taken off as a precaution.
Now, a lot of people brought him in this week in Fantasy Premier League. In fact, he was the most transferred in player. I think because of that aforementioned issue with Romelu Lukaku, some people brought him in on a hit because they think that Lukaku might be out for a few weeks longer. They look at that fixture schedule as well. Arsenal, Leeds in the next 2. And then after the tough Chelsea one, he's got Watford, Southampton, Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham. A really good run there for a super informed striker. But do you think that he will return for that Arsenal game next week?
Yeah, well, of course, they'll have a Carabao Cup game first against Brighton and Hove Albion. We wouldn't have expected Jamie Vardy to be in that squad anyway. Like I say, Brendan Rodgers has been rotating that forward line in and around those European matches. In Patson Daka and Kelechi Iheanacho would be the players that I would fully expect to lead in that game. So that gives Jamie Vardy a full week to recover. He will be sent for imaging on Monday just to double check, just to make sure that it's nothing too serious. There's no underlying issues. There's nothing sinister there. All being well, we hopefully, fingers crossed, will see Jamie Vardy, all well and kicking in for game week 10. But look, the fact that he started the game, the fact that he felt comfortable and confident enough to play through those opening 45 minutes, and just, like I say, I think the form of Patson Daka, not even Dadson Packer, is the fact that, he was worth, just taking out the firing line in sitting back. But like I say, fingers crossed, and hopefully we may have an update probably ahead of that Carabao Cup time.
So that is the kind of situation there. I would say he's a great owner as well. He's been so good this season. Fantastic data. I think he's 4th best for XGI of all players. Sorry, 5th best in terms of XGI of all players this season. Ridiculous kind of numbers for him. And usually, statistically, we kind of see him almost like a boring player. Not many shots in the box, but he's got 21. He's right up there as one of the most exciting players. That's 4th best in terms of shots in the box. He's on penalties. He is the talisman of Leicester. And even when they've looked bad, he's still looked good. And today's performance against Brentford gives me hope that the team will kind of push on a little bit. So I think, like you said there, Ben, stay subscribed to our channel because we'll keep you up to date with the injuries and things like that. But, we're lucky in a sense that we've got a week here to kind of play with time, and we'll see how the injury kind of evolves, as Bielsa would say. I like that phrase that he uses. But the other one that caused a lot of concern, he's not massively owned in FPL, but he will be of concern to Liverpool fans in it, and it was sad to see. Pogba got sent off for a horror tackle on Keita. Now, what is your kind of impression with that one, Ben?
We've seen Keita get stretchered off. It's something that, it never looks nice. And it was a serious tackle. It could have potentially been a leg breaker. We hope in this instance that, that's not going to be the case. The positive, things that from that initial sort of video footage and it being stretched out, the leg wasn't split, it wasn't put in a brace or anything like that. So we're hoping, fingers crossed, that it could just be impact, a heavy bruising, a contusion to the bone. But again, we will hear from Jurgen Klopp. I expect those assessments and tests to continue. He may need to be sent for imaging. And look, I mean, it's always a worry when a player comes that high at the challenge. There may be some kind of secondary issues, maybe at the ankle or in the knee, just given that that mechanism from the footage. But like I say, this will be evolving. We will have more news. Liverpool are very good at providing updates. So best case scenario, we're just looking at a very painful, heavy contusion, to that lower leg, the tib, and fingers crossed that'll be it. If that's the case, yes, it's going to be very painful, but in a matter of days, he could be back out there on the training pitches. If it's not, then we'll sort of address that as and when.
Yes, and just to repeat the point, as I said earlier, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we'll keep you up to date with all that essential information. But for now, I'm going to wish everybody the best of luck. I hope you've had a good FPL this weekend. I'm going to wish Cater the best in terms of his injury. I hope it's nothing too serious. And we will be back again through this week, as always, with great content. We'll be there with Lynn tomorrow in terms of analysis. And then through the week as well, we've got all of our injury updates. Cutting through rumour, cutting through misinformation. This is the place that you need to be for the most accurate, up-to-date injury information. But for now, a goodbye from us.